Welcome to the Copy Talk podcast. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated. And now, here's your host, Shannon Ross.
Welcome to this beautiful day, beautiful episode of Copy Talk, number 78.
Happy Copy Talk.
Happy 7-8.
Happy Thursday, Copy
Happy
Talk
Thursday.
World. Yeah.
It's
A little too warm
day.
outside for me. Little too warm.
Love it.
No. 9 days.
Love it.
9 days, Ryan.
9 days till the football starts.
days.
Woohoo!
Alabama.
College football.
College football starts on the 27th. Alabama
This
kicks
week.
off. Yeah.
Zero
Oh, you're
week.
saying
Yeah.
Bama kickoff.
Bama
is in-
kickoff is in
Uh-huh.
9 days.
We'll
Yeah.
be together.
Yes, we will be together.
We'll be in Breckenridge.
I hope that's cheering you up that we're going to be on a trip.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
Or a little getaway. But yes, 9 days. 9. I almost wore my Bama t-shirt and my Bama hat today, but I thought I will catch so much flag for that. I'm not going to.
Been there, done that.
But
yeah.
I did dress more like it's fall, and it
Yes.
is not fall outside today, and I'm hot.
I like your hat,
I'm
though.
sweltering. Well,
That's
I
one of your
wore
new Colorado hats.
I picked this out today because, well, you've seen it before, and you said you really liked it,
Yeah, I
and that
do
it was
like it.
your favorite one, so I wore it today.
Sweet.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
I'm living to make you smile these days. You're a busy bee.
It's
You're a
not my
busy bee.
my most favorite time
Yeah.
of year, but I
got
think
you a-
there's 19 Fridays till Christmas.
I thought it was 18,
It could be
but
18.
who's counting? Didn't I send you the meme?
Yes.
Yeah, with the one with Elf, and he's like 20 days till Christmas. I thought that was maybe a week
20
or 2 weeks
Fridays
ago.
till
Yeah,
Christmas.
20 Fridays till
Yes.
Christmas.
Yes.
I bought
So-
you a present, and I was hoping it was going to be here today
Oh,
to
well,
make you
thank
smile, but
you.
it's not. It'll get here
I'll
soon.
be okay.
She loves presents. It's
I
her love
do.
language.
It really
she
is.
loves them.
It is.
So, and it has
Well,
it has
thank
some
you in
meaning to it.
advance.
So, I'm hopeful it'll get here soon.
Well, good. Well, how's your week going?
Good. I added to our little farm. This is not a big deal. It's not the mini cow, unfortunately. Although I did find a place in South Florida that sells them as well.
Oh,
Further shipping, but I think they might be cheaper. Have you heard of Knuckle
That's
Bump
a-
Farms? They have gained like
why would we hear about?
okay, so
Knuckle
seriously,
Farms?
viral. Okay, so she's totally gone viral. This girl, young buck,
Oh,
and she was on Jimmy Fallon,
oh.
and so she has this small hobby farm, and I think it's her with her grandparents. But one of the famous characters on this hobby farm is Emmanuel the emu. This emu follows her everywhere, and she talks to it. But she's got miniature cows and whatever, and she has
Cute.
this deer named Princess
Mhm.
who follows her around everywhere and like bites on her arm and her clothes. She posts all these things on TikTok.
Wow.
And anyways, emu has gained viral status. The emu, Emmanuel the emu, and there's T-shirts and everything because there's this big video where she's like, "Emmanuel, don't do it," and it's like become this
Wow.
viral thing. And she was on Jimmy Fallon.
That could be you.
So I
in a year.
I messaged her to see if she has any mini cows to sell because
Oh.
she does sell them.
Sweet.
Yes. So, I saw her and I'm like, I want your life.
Well, and you're gonna have to create your own Instagram,
I
mini farm,
will.
because like that is what fills my Instagram. Because I love like goats and
Animal stuff just
horse
make you
stuff
smile.
and whatever. So yeah, mini farm animal stuff, like it would be all on my
I know.
feed.
Well,
all
and what I
day.
added
love it.
this week was on a whim last weekend. They're not
Okay.
minis, but they're these little baby Holland lop-eared bunnies. Their names are Otis and Oswald. They're boys. And they're adorable. They're currently living in my mudroom because I got to get a chicken coop ready
Yeah.
for them. But they're very precious. So
Fun.
I'm gonna get a doe and breed them.
I think that's a great idea.
Uh-huh.
And you'll have bunnies
Side
coming out of your
hustle.
ears.
Heck yeah, I know.
Your dogs will be very happy. They'll
Dave-
have lots to chase.
Well, that's why, because last time Bolt murdered my bunny.
I
So,
know. And Bolt is still there.
Well,
so
it was
Bolt-
involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
It really was. He didn't mean to kill. He didn't mean to kill Oliver.
now Bolt just looks at the bunnies and just
Oh, he wants
in
to eat them,
anticipation.
but yeah. But they'll be down at the barn because since I live down there anyway. But we added a little fun, and then I'm gonna have a side hustle.
Yeah.
David is not happy about that at all. He's like, oh my It's gonna be like 8 million bunnies because then he's like, you're not gonna want to get rid of them, and this is gonna be an issue. So, anyways, how was your week?
Oh, that's fun.
How's yours?
It's going well. It's going fine. It's a very busy time of year for me, so just trying to keep my sanity in the
Yeah.
mix. But
Any sanity spins?
no,
you?
but we're doing some trips, so I can't really do anything all that fun
Yeah.
right this second for the next like six to 8 weeks. But we're just trying to book some trips. But we did book our Breck trip. That was one of
Yep.
them because that's Labor Day, so I can do that.
Yep.
So we're trying to get some other stuff
Well,
on
at
the
least we have
calendar.
Sunday the
So
draft. We
yeah,
always have fun.
totally.
You want to wear our cowboy hats this year?
We totally
We typically
should.
wear our cowboy hats when
We
draft
do. We
together.
dress up, which is so lame because no one else is there. Like everyone's on Zoom, but whatever.
That's okay. We have fun.
But
Okay.
oh, let's see products. We're
Okay.
going to do products today. We're going to finish up the Know Your Calling series that I've been
Yes.
doing.
Yep.
And then we're going to do your fun stories.
I know I had so many to pick from. I won't do all of them, or I might. But okay. Now,
Before we probably get to new products, we
shoot.
should recap from last week.
Hold on a second. I'm so grateful for you that you keep me on track. Ryan last week took one of the Dr. Jart cryo rubber masks. Ryan, we want to hear how
The
did
blue
that
one
go?
because
The
it was
blue
more
one.
manly.
Yeah.
It was a whole ordeal. So
Tell us.
Yeah. So the acid, the
Acid? It's not
lotion.
acid.
Yeah,
Hyaluronic acid.
right.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
acid.
Well, acid, I think.
So I put that on with no problem. All right, was able to apply it, feeling good. I take out the mask and I put it on, and immediately the top. It comes in two parts.
Okay.
I put the top part on, and it immediately rips around the bridge of my nose. So then I'm having to like press it to get it to stay on. Finally, I get it there, but like my head is slightly tipped back in order to keep it on. I put on the bottom, and it says extend it all the way to the ear. So I'm like pulling it towards my ear, rips completely in half. So then what ended up being, I just left the top part on. I went upstairs. My kids were sleeping, and I went into each one of their rooms and turned on the light with it on.
That's so mean.
And they did not get scared. They were like, Dad, what is wrong with you? So I said, this is what I'm doing to stay beautiful. And I went down, and then I just chilled, and I was watching a documentary with it on, and I took it off, and it like my face felt really nice.
Yeah.
And I think my skin is somewhere between dewy and radiant. I haven't quite figured out where it is.
Sure.
8 out of 10 would do again.
Nice.
I just need some
He's gonna go to your
babysitting,
Medispa next.
some hand holding when it comes to putting it on, because that was
it's
good.
It's tricky. And yeah, you don't really. I know what it says on the packaging. You don't really it's more like putting it on, and then you're more gonna try to push it up. Yeah, you're not gonna full on like.
I wonder if my it happened around my eyes, but also around my mouth. But like, I wonder if my beard caused it to not be able to stick on the bottom of my face.
Sure. Probably.
But on the top part of my face, like, I don't have hair. I mean, I have my eyebrows, but I don't have. But it wouldn't stick that well, so I kind of like had my head tipped back a little bit. But it was invigorating.
But you did it. I'm so proud of you.
I am proud of you. Did you wash your face first?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
You followed the directions.
I know. Well, some people don't wash their face.
It's not on the directions.
No, it's not on the
They're
directions.
just like, take it out and put it on.
You should wash your face. Good.
Good for
but
you.
8 out of 10, you do it
and
again.
I love the picture.
Yes.
What do you think about the price point at $14? And if you had gotten to use the whole thing, you should.
If I would have used the whole thing,
sure.
I think I got about a $7 experience.
Sure. Yeah.
So if I could put the whole thing on without much problem, I'd probably do it. And when you said once a week?
Yeah, well, I mean, even once every 2 weeks. I mean, there's other masks you can do as well.
Yeah,
I'd do it.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this stuff is going to work immediately.
No,
right.
You do them over time.
I do them over time.
Mhm.
So
good for you.
But the hyaluronic acid feels good. Like when you put it on your face and you lock it in there and then you take it off.
I just get like a bottle. Can you just get a bottle of that and put it as on your face all the time?
Yeah. So hyaluronic acid as a serum, everybody should have that in there, including males should have that in their face kit. You can get hyaluronic acid serum. I mean, quality. I mean, it matters, but like if you want to go to Sephora or there's. He's like, I'm not stepping in there. You can order online. Nobody will know. But hyaluronic acid is a staple. You should absolutely have that. And it just comes and you put it on your face without a mask.
I will actually go to Sephora because I am not an online shopper. I refuse. I'm about the immediate payout. I go in.
Well, they same day deliver.
Oh, yeah. You did say that.
Yeah. They same day
You're getting
deliver.
a new
I'll go into
Converse.
Sephora.
I love it.
I did that this morning. I same day delivered because I ran out of something and I need it before tomorrow. And I ordered it this morning. Anyways, just saying, it's really worth the $6.95. Now,
and I might be able to meet women at Sephora too.
Oh my gosh!
So.
If you are there buying masks, you will be like chick bait for sure.
Oh well, they're all gonna as soon as a dude
because
walks
they're gonna
in,
but they're gonna assume he's.
They're buying for my girlfriend or my wife,
totally.
or that you're just ignorant of products in general.
You could like do it as a pickup line. You could go up to women and be like, "Can you help me?"
Well, what you also need to do is already let them know that you have tried the Dr. Jart mask.
Yeah.
And then and say, and I'm really here to look at some hyaluronic acid serums for my face.
You will have a following very quickly.
Saying.
I like this strategy.
I'm loving this.
I actually love this strategy as well.
This should be an Instagram account all by itself. This could go viral.
Ryan's all for that.
I love this.
Good job.
I mean, we just created
such a good producer to do that for us.
He is.
He's probably like in the bathroom being like, "Oh my gosh, what is my life
did
come
I
to?"
even commit to? And then I ripped the stupid thing. Like I would have been cussing at it. Yeah. Not that I cuss.
Oh, well, what products can you introduce to him today?
Okay. So, Ryan. All right. So here is one. Now I'm gonna bring up because you ask me questions sometimes and sometimes I don't know all the answers because I love them. All right. Pink Drink. It's by Sunday Riley. I've talked about Sunday Riley before.
Yep.
Good Genes is by Sunday Riley. I do not like to run out of this. Now, the downside with Sunday Riley are their price points. But this is just a spritz. So like in the morning, dry, clean skin, spritz. Okay. Then I'm going to do my toner. Then I'm going to do my serums. Then I'm going to do my, break up in time. And then I'm going to do my moisturizer. Okay. And then I do this at night after I wash my face. So it is twice a day. But it has firming peptides. It has EC, GC. Well, you almost bought that in Scottsdale, but then you put it back.
I did.
Yep. So this is for normal, dry, combo, and oily skin. So for all skin types. It does have a peptide complex, so that helps firm and resurface your skin. It has a prebiotic complex that helps. So if some people struggle with redness on their skin, so it's going to help with that, and it's going to promote your skin's just natural microbiome.
I like how it says it's a power drink for your skin.
It really is. It really is. So like it even will help you maintain moisture more.
Smells so good from Sunday Riley.
I love Sunday Riley. And then it also has what I think is really cool is EGCG, which is an antioxidant that comes from green tea. That's really good for your face. So I rarely run out of this. Now price point, I think it was 41 or 48. So that is high.
Yeah.
But it's going to last you a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I overdo it. I'm like, I do way too much because I love how this feels. I will even sometimes, after I do my moisturizer, I will even spray this. So I've done it first and then I'll spray it after I even do my moisturizer. And
does it dry pretty quickly? So like you can go on to another step?
It's not, you're not going to have a drenched face with
Okay.
this. Sunday Riley, I love this whole product line. It's just, they are expensive. And so I used to use a lot more of their products. And if you have the price point and you can put it in your budget, they are a great line that you can purchase at Sephora or online. But just for me, I just use several of their products still that I just think they have a great vitamin C serum that I wish I still had. That's really good. Okay. I know I brought two.
That's all
I can't
right.
decide. We went for the spray thing today.
Yes.
Okay. I've never brought anything makeup related ever. Did you have any more questions about this?
No, I'm good.
I move on, before I throw it all over the place. Okay. Ryan, I mean, because you're on today. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Would you like to
I don't
smell
think
it?
Pink Dream is going to
Drink
is going to be something that I.
Oh, because it's pink.
Well, and it's
do.
expensive.
I don't have a problem with pink.
pink drinks. Women tend to like pink drinks, as in literally pink drinks you can consume.
But you can at least, the more you know about products, the more of a babe magnet you're going to be at Sephora. So just
like if you walked in and said, "Hey, I'm looking for Pink Drink by Sunday Riley," and they said, "Oh, is this for your wife or girlfriend?" No, it's for me. You're strong enough in your manhood to buy a pink drink product.
Yeah,
of course you are.
Totally.
And all the girls at Sephora love the Sunday Riley brand, and they love pink drink.
Okay.
They will try to. This will be tried to sold. Is sold often. It's a popular one. Okay, I never talk about makeup.
Yes,
because makeup is very preference driven, and so I've never talked about any makeup on the show. But so this isn't really makeup; it's a setting spray. So Ryan, not apply to you unless you want it to. But it is a setting spray for your makeup. I think I've tried to get you to buy this, and you may.
I have makeup on.
Okay, come here. Just a little extra.
Okay, that's a lot.
Okay, yeah. Well, I tend to be generous with my sprays.
Keeps it.
So this
fresh.
is gonna set. Okay, so I hate to have to redo my makeup at any point in the day. I might put my lipstick. I might touch up my lipstick by the end of the day if we go to dinner. I do not like to. When I put it on in the morning, I want to be done. So I spray this and it sets it. So it's going to keep your makeup from creasing. It's going to keep it from running. And it just sets it to where you are going to, like my face makeup looks the same when I go home from work before I wash it off at night as it did when I don't like to repowder my nose. I don't like to do any of that. I don't even use powder on my nose, but that's not the point. But I don't want to do any of that.
Okay. What's it called?
This is thank you. This is I feel like everybody's just watching us. They're not. For our listener, it is the Airbrush Flawless Spray, setting spray by Charlotte Tilbury, who, side note, is one of my absolute fake makeup brands. Not fake, but makeup brands.
Is her name the
Charlotte Tilbury?
Yeah.
Yep. That's the name.
Okay.
Love it. Best one I've ever used. I've used several.
Sweet.
Favorite one.
I have neither of those things. So I'll test it.
I thought I made you buy this.
No.
Scott, you probably bought it and stuck it under.
I really didn't. I promise I didn't.
Okay.
I've used everything I bought when we were together except one powder. So it's like, that's $5, and I don't know where that goes. So I cap at $4.
I think
apparently.
It was a Charlotte Tilbury.
I cap at $3.
Okay.
But yes.
So those were mine
good.
today.
Those are good.
Those are good.
And it's like a theme of spraying.
What was a spray theme? I felt like I hadn't brought any. Have I brought sprays before? I don't think I have.
No, you have. I don't.
Masks.
You brought hairspray, like
for
dry shampoo spray,
which
I
buy.
used today.
Yeah.
Actually,
I love it. You don't
it's like I was going to wash my hair and then I got out of the shower. I'm like, oops, I forgot. I forgot to wash my hair. So I used the spray. And you laughed and you said to share this on the podcast. So good. I bought the dry shampoo and the dry conditioner that smells really good.
Funny.
And it does smell really good. So my dog was smelling very bad the other day, and I didn't have time to give it a bath. So I was like,
did.
That will be a brilliant dog spray. It's a little pricey, but I totally used it on Ziggy. And
he's
a little side hustle.
Totally.
We got the mini bunnies and we got the dog dry shampoo.
Totally.
Seriously.
And so April came over that day. She's like, why do I smell it? I'm like, oh, it's on my dog.
Well, because I was sitting in the living room. I'm like, I smell something familiar. That's a good smell. And Ziggy happened to be sitting there. And she's like, oh, I used that R&Co dry conditioner spray. I'm like, well, I mean, why not?
When you take your dog to get groomed, they put finishing spray on them. So I'm just,
Sure, that's made for dogs. But
yeah. I mean, it wouldn't hurt her. I'm sure they test on animals before
I
they
think
give
they
it to you.
don't test on animals. I think that's one of the
That's actually a thing now.
Awesome. They don't. The R&Co
I've
brand.
tested it on an animal and it's just fine.
Well,
she's fine.
Shannon conducted her own experiment. And there was no breakouts and no extra scratching. Okay.
And Ziggy's so old. She smells a lot. So now we share that product. So it's worth it.
It's kind of pricey.
It's
She's
not
next to me
chocolate
all the time.
scented, is it?
No, it's really
chocolate.
It helps because the dog is with me all the time and she smells all the time, and so I want to smell good things.
Just don't start spraying Miles.
I won't.
Okay,
he's too big.
Why would you suggest?
Because dogs can't have chocolate.
I knew that.
I see where you're going with that.
Do any products smell like chocolate, or is that just like magic markers in chapstick?
Maybe crayons.
Wow,
I don't know. Stickers.
So don't mention that when I go to Sephora. The look I'm getting.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
I will recede into my corner for the rest of the podcast.
No, you will not. You lost me there for a second. I was like, I don't know where you're going with this, but Chocolate is good.
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay, Shannon.
Okay, here's the final segment on Know Your Calling. So
Okay.
we started it out a couple weeks ago with canceling out the dread in your life to kind of make room for your calling again. So we talked about working to get away the shadows of the past, working to let go of bad memories, bad relationships, lies that maybe came out of those relationships that you've been believing as truths, a lot of negative thoughts. Our brains kind of, when we have a negative pattern, they kind of create these kind of tracks that just play on repeat all the time. And so as you're trying to renew your mind, as you're trying to get rid of the old to make room for the new, just positive thoughts help cancel that out, because actually in a frequency, if you do brain science, frequency of positive thoughts are actually heavier than negative thoughts. So the more that you can think and, be grateful and positive and optimistic and really getting your mind thinking more in positive directions, that will actually help cancel out some of these negative tracks that's been maybe playing on repeat. So we talked about that a couple weeks ago. And then last week, we talked about how to follow your compass. And what we were talking about as your compass is really your heart's desires. So I'm not talking about like, oh, I want chocolate cake tonight for dessert for Ryan or something like that. I'm talking about deeper, like heart's desires. Like for me, I wanted a big family. I wanted to have farmland. I wanted to live in a place that was warm. That's still coming, but I've tried twice and miserably failed on that one. So it's all still on the list. And different things of like heart's desires, like what I wanted my marriage to look like, and what I wanted to do professionally, and what I wanted the components of that profession that I wanted. And so those desires of my heart I had since a kid. And we were talking about Ryan wanted to be a sports broadcaster from like 8 years old.
Yeah, 8 years old.
I love it. And Kelly wanted to be a coach, and April wanting to own a bookstore, which is still on the list.
I
Well,
wanted
you
to be a
said
marine
biologist, and
biologist.
then you said that canceled out quickly.
Oh yeah, I took biology in college.
Yeah.
That tanked quick.
Well, maybe your love for farm animals is replacing your love for sea animals. Who knows?
Oh, animals are in my future.
Yes.
I'm
animals
building.
evolve. Yeah.
Yep.
I would say animals are a desire of your heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Animals in a bookstore. I'm not quite sure how that's going to go together, but
Well,
we'll figure it
there's
out.
a lot of life left.
Yeah.
And we said that. We said, if you're not dead, you're not done.
Yep. Because the
So
98-year-old guy who graduated from college twice. Giuseppe.
Yep, absolutely. And so to listen to those desires of your heart, to navigate what those are, to create something in front of you that you can visually kind of put those desires on a picture board or a scrapbook or what have you. An art journal, I've heard, is a really good positive thing. And then developing your strengths in those areas. So a lot of people think focusing on your weaknesses and getting better in your weaknesses is the way to go, but actually brain science proves that it's actually focusing on and developing your strengths that will take you further. So, and we all have different strengths. And then figuring out what brings you life. The desires of your heart will bring you life, but also this is what will lead to today's segment, is the whole like what brings you life concept. So I'll put that on the shelf for a moment. Then we finished last week with understanding the cost. It doesn't mean that if you're going for the desires of your heart, your dreams that have been in your heart for a long time, they're going to have costs. There's going to be sacrifices. There's going to be seasons where it's just really hard. It's not going to be every season, but there are going to be seasons that you just have to kind of set your face like flint, keep your nose to the grindstone, and press on. And sometimes in those seasons, the only thing that you are doing is keeping on. You're not giving up.
When you rally your chutzpah.
And when you rally that chutzpah.
If you have not heard one of our very, very old shows, Rally Your Chutzpah used
She didn't
to be
know
a
what that
thing.
meant at first.
Well, nobody did. I'm generally not the only one in the room. That, and I can't remember the Pollyanna thing. Anyway, sorry, not to derail you.
So to understand the cost and being willing to lay down different things and sacrifice things to get what you really want. So the final segment is again finishing up, and I call this simplify and find solitude.
Okay.
Those are two components that are really important to always kind of bring into the mix on a regular basis, because life gets busy. There's a lot of distractions that come into our life that have nothing to do with our calling, that have nothing to do with the desires of our heart, that are more about just what it takes to live one day at a time in this world.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're not there, because they are, but if you don't take the level of intentionality to spend time and I put in silence because I think, again, we are so distracted constantly by phones
I
and
know.
screens,
Yeah.
and there's so much things coming after us all the time. I've learned that silence is one of those things that I have to do, like, pretty much for me on a weekly basis, is to find some time. And some people meditate or just clear their mind during, times of silence, just to, a lot of people, I pray during my times of silence, but
Mhm.
to just like create a space where there's no distractions and you can just kind of, again, center yourself and get connected with not what do I need to do? It's like, what's going on here? Like,
Mhm.
where am I? What's, how am I happy? Am I, like, what am I feeling these days? Am I healthy? What's going, just kind of like a check-in.
Yeah.
But you need that silence around you to really get that level of introspection going, I have found. And you have to then, from that place of solitude and silence, come out ready to always, always, always simplify.
Mm.
Simplification in our lives is so critical because there's nothing but clutter that always comes. I mean, take a look at your closet, for instance. Like, most of our closets are totally cluttered with stuff we haven't worn in, years, right? So that's just a simple example. Our garages, our basements, our lives have that same kind of tendency,
I
though,
don't like
to
clutter. I
clutter.
hate clutter.
I know.
I do.
Well, yeah, your house is honestly one of the most organized houses.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but we
Well,
hate clutter.
for
We
between
have no
you and
problem throwing
David,
some away.
holy cow, you're inspiring because it's like, whew. Um, but to constantly, and I'm not just talking physical items, removing
Sure,
clutter, but
yeah.
out of your life,
Mm.
sometimes because life just keeps happening and we're like, why am I doing this? Why is my kids in 5 sports and they don't even love it? Why am I, why are we running at this pace?
Right.
Like, sometimes we get so enamored and just into the routine
Yeah.
that we've lost our intentionality and we're going off track.
Or we say yes to too much.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so if we don't take these kind of rhythms to discipline ourselves and simplify, and maybe it's once a quarter, maybe it's once a month, um, everyone is going to see it differently. And I forget this. And whenever I do, I start to have symptoms of busyness. And I'm like, what did I let happen? It's like
Mhm.
we fall asleep at the wheel or something,
Yeah.
and we end up at a destination that we didn't really want to go to.
Yeah.
And so continuously removing clutter, and then just be in a space, like, be okay with big changes. A lot of people just hate change because they hate change.
Yeah.
And so the more, though, that we can adapt to change and welcome change in our lives, I think it leads us to where we want to go. Because yes, change is scary and it's
Mhm.
uncomfortable.
Especially the older you get. And I'm not saying for younger. I
Yes.
mean, there are people that just innately do not like
Sure.
change, but I think the older we get too,
Yeah.
we can be more we're more risk avert the older we
That's
get,
true.
right?
Yeah.
So change feels risky.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think it
Yeah.
can open doors if you're willing to let it.
No doubt.
Um,
I mean, the more that we can embrace change, and not just to change something, but to
Right.
not fight change
Yeah.
and to welcome it in different areas and put a little risk in the game.
Mhm.
Because how many times when you see, maybe it was a change that was forced upon you that you didn't really choose,
Mhm.
but it led to something so much better.
Right.
And so, kind of do that self inventory a little bit and be open to it. And that's how you kind of navigate this narrow path to find your calling. It takes intentionality. It's not just going to happen. Like, especially because we stand in our own way quite a bit.
Mhm.
So,
Well, and not to say that my kids stand in my way, but I find in my life
yeah.
the thing that keeps me so risk averse is the kids,
Sure.
right? Because you don't want to, if I'm going to go out on a limb and find a new job or I'm
Sure.
going to get a new gig broadcasting or whatever, it's like, oh, how is this going to affect the
Yeah.
kids? That's what always, if it was just me, I'd be
Sure.
doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Totally.
But with them, but that's a good thing, right? It
Yeah.
tethers me a little bit, but I would imagine kids are a big thing where people go, oh, I can't really take this risk because I got to worry about them.
Well, and
Absolutely.
you think, what if any
I get
decision
that.
I make like derails their future,
Right.
or
Mhm.
as if, because sometimes we think we actually have more power than we really do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Meaning, that decision, while it has changed, wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily throw your kids off the railroad tracks, right? Like, it's because we're still parents and we'll take care of our children. But it feels like in the
Mhm.
moment, if we make this decision, how impactful for me, it's kids. For me, it's my
Right.
child.
Yeah.
That one gets me the most of, if I do this, what would it do to my child and how would
Mhm.
it? But in the long run, I think we exposing them to change
Right.
is healthy.
Like,
Mhm.
if you saw any of your boys in a job that they had, like, maximized and they were just going through the motions, would you want that for them as an adult? You wouldn't,
No.
right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I think
Mm.
part of that risk is teaching your kids, like, it's okay to go after what you want and to put a little bit on the line, and maybe we're gonna be uncomfortable for a couple months, but it's gonna lead to good things because it's about passion and
Mhm.
calling and destiny and those lessons are so that's what we want for our kids. So sometimes we'll do something for our kids that we won't do for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah,
So put
completely.
yourself in your kid's shoes.
Yeah.
Like, if I see my daughter, and she's 32 and she's just phoning it in and there's no excitement, there's no passion, I don't want that for her just
Right.
because she doesn't want change or doesn't want to take a risk. So why do I want that for myself?
Yeah.
So it's oftentimes, I'm so glad you brought that up. I actually was in a counseling session yesterday where a person just could not see any options of moving forward, and this person has kids. I was like, imagine your kids sitting here saying the same thing. Would you want them to think that they had no options? Absolutely not.
Right.
What option would you think your kid had? And he was able to kind of get to a whole new level of thinking, doing something
Yeah, that's a good
and
technique.
thinking it
Yeah.
for a child than himself.
Mm.
And we all can do that, but that's a great point, Ryan.
Yeah.
So that concludes our
That's
series.
it.
But
Oh,
those are my nuggets for
that was
today.
your nuggets for today.
Yes.
I like this one.
Yeah,
Well, because it's so applicable to now.
it is.
Because
Oh,
I
it
feel like
definitely is.
personally, my life is in kind of this change mode. And what does
Yeah.
that look like? Nothing monumental, but just some things that, as David and I think about, what do we want to pursue as a family? What do we want to
Yeah.
pursue? Not just he and I individually,
Mhm.
although I mean, my gosh, he loves to do everything: hunt, golf,
Yeah.
fish, all the things, right? And then it's day job and all that. But what do we want to do together also as a family and individually that do stir our passions? I think the older I'm getting, we had this conversation the other day, like what am I passionate about that I'm not doing? And to be
Mhm.
fair, and to be sounding horribly pathetic, I also just there, I'm like, God, what am I passionate about? Like,
Well, it's hard
because
because
you kind of
as
lose
a parent, it's
yourself.
like you lose kind of hobbies, or if you
Yeah.
work too much, it's like, where's the fun? Like,
Yeah,
where are the
yeah.
hobbies?
Like, where's the thing that,
Where's the joie de vivre we've said
the
before?
joie de vivre. Forgot that one. But I want to do that.
Yeah,
And because we want Eden to see us doing
right.
that. And we've been thinking more, what along the lines does that mean? Because, does that mean some type of financial investment? Does that mean,
Mhm.
and, we have to weigh the risk and
Sure.
the change factor to it. But just changing our mindsets, because sometimes you start to think, am I too old?
Right.
But simultaneously at 40 something, maybe this is the time,
Yeah.
if I'm going to reinvent,
Yeah.
I mean, I say that's kind of overstated, but now would be the time, right?
Yeah.
But even as we've been talking about it as a family and what we want to do, it it adds this kind of this excitement a little
Mhm.
bit more, just because we're thinking with intentionality that what could this be, and we have a few things that like, oh, maybe,
Yeah.
and that, I don't know, it's invigorating, it's reviving in a
Totally.
way.
And you're never too old because, again, if you're not dead, you're not done. I was
Giuseppe.
speaking to my great aunt the other day. She's 94. She moved into an assisted living complex prior to COVID. And she just called me the other day and she's like, I'm busting out of this place. It is just not for me. I don't want people to know what I'm doing or where I'm
Busting
going.
out.
She's like, I'm done. And so she, at 94, she moved back into her own apartment and
Did
is
she?
like living
Oh.
by herself.
Oh
And
my.
so but it was very inspiring.
Yeah.
Of like, she could have just phoned it in and been like, well, why am I but she didn't, which I was really proud of
to
her.
make
And
a
she's
change
so
like
much
that
happier.
at 94.
We're a little concerned about,
Yeah.
her safety a little bit at the moment, but
she's not.
she's not. So
She's like,
I
I'd rather
mean,
live like
why
this
not?
than to live
Totally,
like that.
no doubt.
Yeah.
And so it was actually quite inspiring to be like, I love that. At 94,
I like
you
it.
go,
She's
Ani.
like a Giuseppe.
Yeah, she is.
Maybe she'll go back to school.
Maybe. You never know.
I think we're honing in on, you either got to think like a child or an elderly person,
Right?
because
Totally.
like from age 16 to like age 70, we
Absolutely.
just get stuck and do
I
nothing.
agree.
We just like skate through. Like we're
Yeah.
not doing anything. That's a good point.
Totally.
Good point.
So that is my series.
That's a good series,
Yes.
Mrs. Ross.
What are you
I
going to
like
bring
that.
us home with in a
Oh,
story
this is tough.
format?
All right. Oh, it's 11:30. how much time do I have?
As much as you want.
Oh, well, not really. Okay. I still want to stick with a little bit of a downer, which is funny, but I'm gonna totally do it. Okay, I'm gonna kind of blow through these. If you haven't, okay, first of all, did anybody see the show We Crashed on Apple TV?
It was good. I did.
You
It
totally
was
need to watch
great.
it. It's
It
really,
was really
I think
good.
you'll like it.
Yeah.
And it's short. It's like a two season series.
It's short.
If you don't know who WeWork is, Adam Newman, established WeWork. This is a longer article, so I'm not going to
Jared
go through
Leto
it all.
does a great job
Oh yeah,
as the actor.
What is it?
Just saying, he's amazing.
And what's her bucket from Devil Wears Prada? Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
I have seen it advertised. But
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really worth get through the first episode. I had to get into like second and third, and then I was hooked, and I admittedly binged it. It's really good. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
But so he and his wife started WeWork. Long story short, it grew into a $1 billion company.
Mhm.
But he's a crazy spender. He's an Israeli, but also U.S. citizen. Crazy spender. He burned billions. And eventually, he had to step away from WeWork as a major voting right, and WeWork went public. WeWork is basically community workspaces without going into too much else. Anyways, I mean, but the guy, drugs, heavy spender, whatever. I give him prop. I mean, crazy like all he wants.
He's very charismatic.
He can raise money
and entrepreneurial.
like,
yeah.
I mean, because as many bridges as he burned and how much money this man blew through. And even kind of the way that he conducted himself at
Sure.
WeWork, I think he gave people tequila shots in interviews and that kind of stuff. And there was some sexual harassment claims. And again, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. I don't know how that ended up. But somebody he gets not bought out, but essentially bought out. Somebody just gave him, well, it's not somebody. His name is like Mark Andreessen, gave him $350 million. And they have now started a community. They're calling it Flow. So everything's going to be flow this, flow that, and has given him this money to build like these. They're trying to handle the U.S.'s housing problem. This article is interesting though because it's sarcastic in a lot of areas because they're really catering to the millennials. So this kind of community housing where you can eventually gain equity by renting, and it's those kind of models that seem very unlikely, and in the end of the day only somebody that's got some money would even be able to afford these housing
or lack of experience.
yeah.
Yes.
And so what I loved about this though, that I felt like I want to adopt this though, is why does the WeWork guy continue to get to fail up? Like he fails and fails and fails, and people keep giving him money and money and money to do these ventures. And so maybe he's learned from his mistakes, but I loved the fail up concept. I don't know everything about Adam Newman, and there was a lot of sarcasm in this article. Basically saying hopefully he learned his lessons, but he's been given $350 million to build out. Which they really don't even give a lot of details, and by they I mean he and the Andreessen guy on how this could really work. But it was interesting. I just thought, not how stupid can we be? Because I know we've talked about that in the past, or how stupid can someone be? How does somebody fail up and get $350 million when they've burned through billions?
Personality.
Yeah.
Like like Wolf of Wall Street. Like people still trust Jordan Belfort to like teach them how to sell and stuff like that. And I think that's what it is that you meet with these people and you're just so enamored with them, with their whole deal, that you're just like, take all my money.
This time will be different.
He's part of this was, I mean, he's a visionary. That's kind of, I mean, at one point he thought WeWork would be on Mars. He would be the first world's trillionaire. And I'm not against big dreams, but I think that captures people. Like he's talking big all the time, vision, dream, and he can and he's not stupid. He's smart.
Sure.
He just has some issues, but I just thought that was an interesting because we're an empowerment show, and I do actually believe that it's real that you can fail up. So I liked really the title of it, and because I watched the show,
and he's not giving up. I mean, he's just kept going and going.
Not giving up.
That's inspiring.
Okay, so I had another one, and I really liked it.
It's a downer. Do we have
no.
listen to
This one isn't really a downer. No. I'm really into. Okay, this is gonna make me sound like a dork. I love anything that's about like mysterious things that fall from the skies, like UFOs. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Kelly agrees with you.
There was a it says mystery remains over a metallic orb that was found in a tree. And a guy found it, and he was even told, okay, don't open it. It could be radioactive. And then people came, and I think they came at a weird hour and like took the orb, but they won't open it. It's weird. So people are all, I mean, did it fall from this China something rocket? And people are saying, no, the other remains of it landed in Asia and all of this. Anyways, but nobody knows what it is.
Or where it is.
Or where they
it was
took
taken.
it. I mean, somebody knows where it is.
Roswell.
And somebody's going to open it. I love UFO stuff. I'm so intrigued. Do you believe in UFOs, Ryan?
By the textbook definition, yes. Do I believe that there are aliens in those UFOs? No, not so much. On an unrelated note, I have an orb that I would love to sell you. That's in my office. It's glowing.
Yeah? Wow, that's interesting. There's so much to Ryan we don't know.
I know. We can put it on Poshmark for you.
There you go.
Heck yeah. Or the Real. Isn't that one
yes,
too? Or Mercari. There's all the ones.
Yep, there's all the ones.
That was a really fun article to read. I won't. Okay. All right. You ready?
Check out Newsweek if you want to see more.
This isn't really, because it's not really empowering. I'm just really fascinated by unidentified flying objects and maybe little green men. But no, I actually don't know if I believe in aliens either. Okay. Here we go, guys. You ready?
Last one.
This is an empowering show. I know. This is an empowering show. So, top 5 worst foods that could shorten your life expectancy.
Uh-oh.
But then I'm also going to tell you the ones that can increase it, so maybe you wash it out. Okay, you ready? The worst foods per portion, according to the Telegraph, were a hot dog, which is kind of sad because a hot dog at a baseball game is good.
Betty White loved hot dogs, and she lived to 99. Just saying.
Okay.
Oh, but anyways, I'm sorry.
Well, maybe she would have lived longer, Shannon.
Maybe. That's true.
Because every time you eat a hot dog, she wanted to live over 100. I
know she did. Yeah.
No, hot dogs.
That last hot dog.
36 minutes off your life. Bacon, meat candy.
Oh.
This one's hard. 26 minutes off your life. Cheeseburger, which I'm going to need to rein that in with my kid. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, 8.8 minutes off your life.
Per
Soft
burger.
drinks, fizzy or sweetened, 12.4 minutes off your life.
Ooh.
Packaged snacks and bread, various, whatever. Okay, here's we go. So you can lengthen. You ready? Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can add 33.1 minutes to your life.
Huh.
Baked salmon, which I eat often throughout the week, so I'm feeling really good about myself with this list. I've added multiple times this week 13.5 minutes to my life.
Nice.
Banana, 13.5 minutes. You won't like this one. Tomatoes. Dr. Gundy might be wrong.
Yeah.
3.8 minutes to your life. And avocado, yes and amen. That is food from the throne of God himself. 1.5 minutes to your life is added every time you eat an avocado. I just thought that I'm empowering you.
That's right.
To eat.
That's
I want
a good
you
list.
all to live longer. So there you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, thank you for all the nuggets of wisdom today. Where can people find us?
Coffeetalkpodcast.com website, Instagram. Ryan, what's the hashtag?
I have to think about that. I couldn't pick one out.
Oh.
I know.
Oh,
I am really disappointing you guys.
I
was so caught up with the...
He was a guest today, so you couldn't just actively listen.
Am I wearing it on my face that I'm disappointed?
Yes, I can tell, and I feel terrible about it.
Oh, man.
You wore the mask, so I can't really give you a hard time. Come on.
Okay.
We got to think, what should
hashtag
we do?
remove the clutter.
Oh, I like that. See? Okay. I have taught you well, young Padawan.
Okay,
that was my goal the whole time.
He meant to do that. Yeah. So our Instagram, DM us, hashtag remove the clutter, or our favorite, YouTube.
Our favorite. You
ring the bell
to the tube.
Subscribe. There really is a bell, right? That you click on YouTube. Isn't that why we do the bell every time?
There are.
Okay. I mean, I always watch YouTube, but I've never rung a bell before. So ring that bell.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll see everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Very soon.
Bye.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated.